Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Good morning, everyone. So, on behalf of our secretary, I will be presenting the preliminary results of the impact evaluation done on the Pantawid Pamilya Filipino program or the Philippine CCP. So, just to give a brief background on the program for those who are not yet familiar with it, the Philippine CCP is a program that is investing in human capital formation of children. It is very much patterned after the Latin American models of CCP, and we've started implementation since 2008. But there has been a pre-pilot implementation back in 2007. So the main goal of the program is to keep children healthy and in school by giving them cash incentives for the households, for them to keep on complying with conditions. So the outline of the presentation, I'll be tackling some of the brief background and then the program monitoring and evaluation design. There's also the need of the discussion will be on preliminary results of the first impact evaluation. And last, I will be presenting to you future plans with regards to our impact evaluation for the program. So, as a brief background, as I said earlier, it is an investment in the future of our Filipino children. The beneficiaries of the Pantawid program are called from the National Household Targeting System database that contains about 5.2 million identified poor households. There was an enumeration done in 2009 until 2010 where we enumerated a total of 10.2 million households all over the country. Out of that, we identified 5.2 million as being poor. And then out of that 5.2 million, the government's commitment for Pantawid coverage is 4.3 million households until 2016. As of now, we are already covering more than 3 million households out of the 4.3 million target. Therefore, we're supposed to cover 1.3 million more until 2016. Effective 2013, we will be registering about 700,000 additional households, and by 2014, we will be enrolling the last batch of 600,000 households. So, the households to be qualified for the program first have to be identified as poor, and then second, they have to be eligible, meaning they should have children below 14 years of age, or there is a pregnant woman in the household. And third, they are willing to comply with the conditionalities of the program because it is a conditional cash transfer. So in the Philippines, the grant package is about 20% of the estimated household income. And for help, we give about 500 pesos per household on a monthly basis, and that's for 12 months. As long as they comply with the health conditions stipulated by the DOH according to their protocols. And for education, we give 300 pesos per child for a maximum of 3 children per household for 10 months in a year. So in a year, the maximum grants that the household can get is about 15,000 pesos. Okay, so just recently, the World Bank has lauded the Philippines CCP as being a model for Asia in terms of social safety nets and even social protection, because the program helps families spend the time, especially in protecting against effects of natural disasters, economic crisis, and job layoff. So now I will present to you the design of the monitoring and evaluation of the Pantawid program. As early as 2008, when we were just starting with the implementation of the program, we have already conceived and embedded the monitoring and evaluation design in the program. So we believe it is comprehensive enough, and it has the following components. One, we do the regular monitoring of the household beneficiaries, and we even have a database to ensure that we capture that. Then second, we do regular spot checks, and this is part of our covenants with the development partners that are supporting the program. So twice a year, we're supposed to do spot checks. Third, we do quantitative impact evaluation. This is a three-way design It's both experimental and quasi-experimental. The data I will share with you later would involve the preliminary findings from the experimental design. And then fourth, we do also the qualitative evaluation, where we engage third parties and the academe and other civil society organizations to ensure that we'll be able to also capture the impact of the program in terms of the quality. And then fifth, we do monitoring by the National Independent Advisory and Monitoring Committee. This is a high-level, high-profile advisory committee that is independent, and they do their own monitoring for the program. Okay, now we present to you the preliminary results of the program. This is first of the three-way impact evaluation. The objectives of the impact evaluation is, first, it is designed to assess the current effects of the Pantawid Pamilya in terms of the impact on the use of health services and health outcomes, the impact on schooling, and impact on consumption. Second, it is also designed to see the difference in impact on different groups, such as geographic areas, gender, indigenous people status, and relative poverty. So what have we found so far? Later, I'm skipping the part where we discuss the methodology, because that part is supposed to be discussed by another discussant. I hope you see it. Okay, so now on the results. What we have found so far, and we're very happy, is that the findings show that more children stay in school and with better chance to graduate from grade school. So in the study, we found that in all areas, daycare, preschool, elementary, in the daycare, there is 10 percentage points higher enrollment rate in daycare or preschool among those CCP covered households as compared to the non-CCP covered households. This result, by the way, only covers the randomized control trial portion of the study, where we covered about 8 provinces, more than 3,000 households enumerated, and a sample of about more than 1,400 respondents. So almost half of that were treated with the Pantawid program, and the other half were designated as control group. So this is the result. It is a snapshot capturing the difference that the CCP made after 2.5 years of program exposure. In terms of elementary, there is a 5 percentage points higher enrollment rate among Pantawid children than non-Pantawid children. And in terms of regular attendance among children between ages 12 to 14, we found a 5 percentage points higher regular attendance rate for Pantawid children as compared to non-Pantawid children. Another finding resulting from the first wave of impact evaluation is that more families tend to prioritize education and health in their household budget. So in the treated areas, the Pantawid families spend 36% more on education than non-Pantawid households, and 33% more on medicine and medical services. We also found that more children use health services. So for children between the ages of 0 to 5, we found that more children from Pantawid households are having their weight monitored regularly. That's comparing 33.3% for Pantawid households compared to 16.9% for non-Pantawid households. We also found that 63.3% of Pantawid households, children, are taking the warming pills compared to only 55.3% of non-Pantawid households. And then lastly, Pantawid children are taking more vitamin A supplementation than non-Pantawid children, with 80.6% for Pantawid and 74.9% for non-Pantawid. In terms of maternal care, the study also found that there are more pregnant mothers that get health care. So, in terms of mothers getting prenatal care visits, we look for households where there are pregnant mothers who have been covered by the program and ask if they have been able to get prenatal care visits, and found that 63.6% of these households were able to avail such, compared to only 54.2% in non-Pantawid households. On the other hand, about 36.4% of mothers who have given birth were able to get postnatal care within the first 24 hours after their delivery, compared to only 26.9% among non-Pantawid households. So these were the initial findings that we got from the impact evaluation, the first wave. And there is continuing data analysis being done by the World Bank, and we're hoping to get the final results by end of this year. But what we are getting as a conclusion so far from the program is that CCT has a strong and consistent impact on the key indicators targeted by the program, in line with other CCT programs around the world. So the results are pretty much consistent. And we see that we are on track in terms of reaching the program objectives as set by the DSWD. So with that, thank you and good day.